Okay, so this is the select statement. So under week 6. So the lesson objective for today is that after completing this lesson, the student should be able to list and enumerate the capabilities of SQL select statement, write and execute a basic select statement. So just to let you know, class, there are 3 applications of select: projection, selection, and join. Okay? So basic select statement. So the basic select statement is used to create a different type of report. So the syntax is select, and then you call the column name, and then kung may expression siya, like for example, is it null or not null, okay? And then from the table name. So select is a clause. It specifies the columns to be displayed, and then from clause identifies the table containing the columns that are listed in the select clause. Okay, next, select all column. So you can display all rows and columns in a table by using the select followed by the asterisk. Okay. Now, as I have mentioned, okay, during our first discussion using our oracle, whenever you see the asterisk symbol, it means you want to display all, right? So asterisk is used to call or display all the row in the column. So for example, select asterisk from authors. Okay, next. Select specific row. So I think this is a typographical error kasi it should be select specific column. So if you will recall, class, this is already we already tried this. Okay, we already tried this statement a couple of times. So if you want to filter or if you want to specifically display a column, you can do so by typing the select statement and then call the column name and then separated by commas. Okay? So in the select clause, specify the column that you want to be displayed in the order in which you want them to appear in the output. For example, to display the last name before the first name of the author in authors table, use the following example. Select L name and then F name from author. So again, the L name here is the first column that will be displayed and then followed by the F name column. Now, if you want na yung F name muna yung magpakita bago yung L name, and then ipalit nyo yung call ng syntax nila or ng statement. Then select F name followed by L name. Okay? So the order you type or you call the column, that's the order how will they appear on your result. Okay? Next, writing SQL statement guidelines. The SQL statements are not case sensitive. A user may use all capital letter combination of small or uppercase. So kindly take note of this, class. Okay? Ulitin ko, the SQL statements are not case sensitive. Okay? Ibig sabihin, either you type it uppercase or lowercase, it's okay. It will be acceptable kasi nga, hindi siya case sensitive. Pero, if you are going to call, let's say magko-condition ka where the last name is equals to ganito. Kapag ang pagkakatype mo ng last name sa table ay all caps, tapos i-condition mo siya ng where, dapat kapag ipinasok mo sa string ng condition yon, dapat kung paano yung pagkakatype mo sa table, ganun din ang i-call mo sa statement mo. So, ibig sabihin, where, sabihin natin Cruz, capital Cruz din dapat siya nasa statement. Okay? Doon lang siya case sensitive. But the SQL statement itself, it's not case sensitive. Okay? So, be aware of that. And then, SQL statements can be entered on one or many lines to make the code readable. Keywords cannot be split across lines or abbreviated. Example, the select should be called as select, not select. Okay, so meaning to say, for example, class yung select statement. It's a one word. So meaning to say, wag kang maglalagay na space in between ng select. Kunwari, se, and then space, and then left. Okay? Siyempre, hindi na marirecognize yan. Kasi nilagyan mo na space, right? It's a different statement already. So clauses are usually placed on separate lines for readability and ease of editing and to make the code readable. Indent should be used to make the code more readable. Keywords typically are entered in uppercase. All other words such as table names and column names are entered in lowercase but is not required. So ito naman ang sinasabi lang dito. For example, mas gusto mong madali siya makita, mapansin yung keyword, i-uppercase mo yung keyword. So the rest, lowercase, para mas madali siyang ma-highlight. Pero ulitin ko, it is not required. Okay, this one also, I think we used this during our first session or second session. We already used the arithmetic expression. If you will recall, I asked you to compute for the average, meaning to say we use the addition operation and the division operation. Okay, so for the arithmetic expression, create expression with number and date values. An arithmetic expression can contain column names, constant numeric values, and the arithmetic. Okay? So, again, if you are going to include the SQL, in the SQL statement yung arithmetic expression natin, ang i-include po natin yung symbol or yung operators natin. So, for the arithmetic expression, this is just an example, okay? So, select, supposed to be, gusto mo ipakita si column name na L name, F name, and then book, and then the year published, plus 5. So, this is our arithmetic expression, the addition from authors, okay? So, that's how you use the arithmetic expression. And it will do the adding per row, okay? So, rules of precedence. So, this is applicable for the, this is mathematical rules class, okay? So, if all operators are present, like the MDAS, or the multiplication, division, and then addition, subtraction, okay? So, multiplication and division occur before the addition and subtraction. So, sabi dito, kung rules ng MDAS ang pag-uusapan natin, okay, you always have to do the operation of multiplication and addition before the addition and subtraction. Okay, operators of the same priority, example, multiplication and division are evaluated from left to right. So to overwrite the default precedence or to clarify the statement, you can use parentheses. So if you want to change the order of the rules of precedence, okay, you can do that by means of a parenthesis. Okay, bakit? Kasi di ba ang parenthesis, rules in mathematics, kung sino yung naka-parenthesis, kung sino yung nasa loob, yun ang inuuna. Simplification yon, di ba? So, the example here is that, for example, this is without, okay, without parenthesis operator. So select name, F name, book. So 10 multiplied by year underscore pub or year published plus 5 from author. So here, if you will notice class, we have two different operators. We have the multiplication and addition. So kung susundin natin ang rules ng precedence or yung MDAS rule. So rules ng MDAS, uunahin mo si multiplication bago si addition. Tama? Yun ang setup niya. Kung if we're talking about the rules of precedence, again, this is without parenthesis operator. Kaya you have to follow the rules of MDAS. Now, what if? Okay, what if with parenthesis operator? So you can select, okay, call the column names that you want to display, and then 10 multiply, okay, year pub plus 5. So again, this syntax is actually the same with this, okay, with the previous one. The only difference is that there is a parenthesis. Naka-parenthesis si year pub plus 5. Now, since naka-parenthesis siya, you do not have to follow the rules of precedence. Okay? It will override the rules of precedence. Kasi nga, rules in mathematics, kung sino yung nasa loob, kung sino yung naka-parenthesis, you have to simplify it first kung sino yung nasa una. Okay? So, simplify yung naka-parenthesis. Kapag na-simplify mo na yung naka-parenthesis, that's the only time that you can do the second operator. Okay? Or operation. So, let's try this one. Okay? So, let's try, instead of asterisk, i-call mo yung different column names. USN, comma, last name, first name, course, and then age. Okay. Lahat ng column. Paano mo tatawagin lahat ng column? Paano natin display lahat ng column? O, di ba, wag mong kalimutan yung comma. Course. Okay, then another comma. Ngayon, ilagay mo 10. multiply by age, plus 5. Plus 5. Okay, then run. Okay, so let's discuss this one. So ito na yung ano, we apply the rules of precedence. We apply the MDAS rule. So, ang original, so pinakita ko pa rin yung age para lang meron tayong ano, for visualization purposes, okay? It's 10 multiplied by age. So sa MDAS rule, unahin muna natin si multiplication. So 10 multiplied by age, so 10 multiplied by 20 is 200. And then plus 5, kaya 205. Okay? So 10 multiplied by 18, 180 plus 5, that is 185. So that is the MDAS rule, okay? Precedence, rules of precedence yan. So iyan yung kapag without parenthesis. Now let's try to put with parenthesis na. Magkama ka. Ayan, thank you. Kama? Okay, 10 multiply. So ngayon parenthesis ka na. Open and close. Yan, baka sobrang ka space. Ayan. Tsaka mo ilagay yung age plus 5. And then close, and then run. I want you to see the difference. Okay, please run. Okay, so the last column sa results, yung pinakadulo, yun na yung latest. Okay, yun na yung may parenthesis. Now, let me show you the difference. Ito na yung in-override natin yung rules of MDAS. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, basic rule ng mathematics. Kung sino naka-parenthesis, kung sino yung nasa loob, yun ang uunahin na operator. So dito, uunahin yung age plus 5. So for example, ang age dito is 20. Plus 5, 25. 25 multiplied by 10 is 250. Okay? Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, malaki ang pinagkaiba ng last two columns. Okay? Siyempre, it has to do with the rules of precedence or the how you use your operators, kung sino yung nauuna. So again, if you want to override the rules of MDAS, use a parenthesis. Okay? So let's go back to the PowerPoint. So yun po yung sinasabi dito. So either if you are going to use the MDAS rule or with the parenthesis operator. Next, defining the null values. Null is a value that is unavailable, unassigned, unknown, or inapplicable. Null is not the same as zero or a blank space. So this is the common misinterpretation of some. Akala nila kapag naka-zero, naka-blank, automatic null. Okay, it's not like that. Ulitin ko, null is not equal to the zero or to the blank space. Okay, if a row lacks a data value for a particular column, that value is said to be null or to contain a null. Okay, so for example, we have this syntax. Null values is arithmetic expression. If the arithmetic expression contains a null value, the result would also be null. For example, if you attempt to perform multiplication by 0, you get an error. However, if you multiply a number by null, the result is a null or unknown. So, what will be the result if you have null? Okay? Next, a column alias. So, a column alias is used for renaming a column heading. Pero syempre, if you will assign an alias, that is not a permanent name column ha. We only use that for the output. Hindi siya magiging permanently stored, okay? And then this one is also useful with calculation. Bakit? It's because that instead of ipakita yung formula na ginamit mo to do the calculation, you can use an alias instead. So immediately follows the column name. There can also be the optional ASCII word between the column name and the alias. Requires double quotation marks if it contains spaces or special characters, or if it is a case sensitive. So, ito na yung nagamit natin, yung with as a keyword. So, for example, select fname as name. Ibig sabihin, ang alias ni fname ay name. Mapapalitan siya na name pag niran mo. But then again, that is not permanent, okay? And then yung lname, mapapalitan siya ng alias na surname. Okay? And then year pub plus 5, this is will be replaced with the year alias. Okay? Now, there are different ways to assign an alias. Yung una, yung tinuro ko na as. Okay? Yung pangalawa, double quotation mark. Okay? Why? Um, if your alias is it will let's say it will contain a special character like the space like this one. Okay? You have to use the double quotation mark. Why the double quotation mark? Because at least it can read a string, di ba? Kasi nga para may output tong string na to with space, you can use the double quotation mark. Okay? So that's the difference. So kapag yung as lang ang gamit mo, dapat one word lang. Kapag double quotation mark, kahit mag 2 words ka, 3 words with special characters, it will be accepted. Okay? So, we can also combine the as and the double quotation mark. How? For example, select fname. So, dapat itong as wala na kasi nagiging redundant siya. Kung mapapansin nyo class, meron ng as dito, may double quotation mark pa. Ulitin ko, ang as ginagamit natin kapag mag-a-assign tayo ng alias with one word. Tapos ang double quotation mark, ginagamit natin kapag 2 words siya or you are going to put special characters. Okay? So, ito kasi redundancy na ng syntax. Okay, let's try this. Meron tayong dalawa dyan na gumamit tayo ng formula. Lagyan natin ng alias para hindi makita yung formula. Total. Okay, then run. Ayan, so napalitan na. Nagkaroon na siya ng column name. O yung pangalawa, lagyan din natin. Ito naman, lagyan mo ng double quotation. Total daw. Lagyan mo na space ha. O yan, run. Ayan, so kung 2 words siya, para i-accept yung special character, we are using yung double quotation. So sige, burahin mo yung double quotation, yung symbol lang. Palitan mo ng as. And then run, please. Ayan. So, syempre, nag-e-error na siya. Bakit? Kasi, unang-una sa lahat, total daw 2 words. So, hindi niya na alam kung ano yan. So, hindi niya na ma-recognize. So, para ma-accept niya yung space, okay, we put a double quotation. You put double quotation. Huwag mong tanggalin yung as. Then run. Okay, ayan. So, gumagana siya, kaya lang redundant. May as ka na, may double quotation ka pa. Subukan mong tanggalin yung as. Burahin mo. Yun yung sinasabi ko. And then run. Same output yan. O, di ba? Kasi nga, ulitin ko, yung as, that is only for a single word kapag mag-assign ka ng alias without special characters. And then double quotation is for the special characters to be accepted. So, thank you. Let me share my screen again. So, nakita nyo naman, di ba? It's the same output. Kaya redundant na yung syntax. So this one, okay? Oo, sige, gagana. But for the, if you are to correct the syntax, wala na dapat to. Okay, this as here. Ito naman, since this is one word, pwede mo nang tagalin yung double quotation. Ito naman, year published, so may special character siya, pwede mo nang tanggalin yung as. Okay? Pero it all works, okay? Just to let you know. So when you say concatenation operator class, links columns or character strings to other column and is represented by the 2 vertical bars. Yung vertical bars na yan, ang tawag ko dyan, parallel bars. Yan yung ginagamit natin pag nagko-condition tayo. Yan yung or. Diba? Ang and, ampersand operator. Tapos ang or, parallel. Parallel operators. Yung parallel operators na yan, makikita nyo yan sa ilalim ng backspace or sa ibabaw ng enter. Okay? So it creates a resultant column that is a character expression. So if you want to concatenate two columns, ibig sabihin nun, kunwari, kinoncatenate ko si L-name at si F-name, pagsasamahin siya as one column. Okay, so to concatenate, select L-name, F-name as complete name, and then book from authors. Okay, let's do that. Yung last name and first name, in concatenate natin. So, Caitlin, tanggalin mo yung comma. Palitan mo ng dalawang parallel sign. No space. Pagdikitin mo lang. Okay, run. Ingat kayo sa spaces. Sa ngayon, sa Oracle, yes, gumagana pag may space. Pero kapag i-include nyo na yung SQL statement sa loob ng isang programming platform, every single space counts. So be careful with that. Kaya masanay na kayo na walang space. Yeah, that is correct. Mamaya na tayo mag-alias. Please click run. Okay, so now, eto na-concatenate na natin siya. Last name, first name, Dalisay Ricardo, ayan, na-consider na siya as one column. Padlan, Caitlin, Bonifacio Andres, ayan, Abamo, Jenilyn. So, now, dikit-dikit siya. Lagyan naman natin ng separation, lagyan natin siya ng comma. How are we going to do that? Doon ka sa may sa may F, doon sa may F. So, first name. Yan. Lagyan mo ng single quotation. No, you do not have to put that. Single quotation, and then comma, and then space, para magkaroon ng space, para hindi dikit-dikit, and then single quote, and then maglagay ka uli ng parallel sign sa harap ng first name. Ang ibig sabihin kasi ng parallel, concatenator operator. So, ibig sabihin nito, kunwari sa last name, ibig sabihin niyan, may kasunod siya. So, since may idudugtong ka, to indicate na ito yung karugtong, okay, kasi meron ka na dito eh. Okay, so, ibig sabihin nun, para may maidugtong ka pa, you have to put another concatenator operator. Ibig sabihin, si first name, dudugtong dito sa may comma at saka sa may space. Okay, please run. Okay, now, the difference here is that, ayun, kung mapapansin nyo, kanina dikit yung Dalisay Ricardo. Yung Padlan Caitlin niya mga pangalan, dikit-dikit. Ngayon, nilagyan natin siya ng comma at saka ng space para ma-indicate na, ito last name to, tapos ito yung first name. Okay? So, ito po yung ibig sabihin nun, ha? Next, this is a continuation of the literal character strings, okay? So, additional example, concatenation of two or more columns. So, sinasabi lang dito na hindi ka limited na dalawang column lang ang pwede mong i-concatenate. Pwede ka mag-concatenate ng more than. So, kunwari, mag-concatenate tayo ng 3 column. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3. Tapos, bukod pa doon, maglagay pa tayo ng string sa loob ng column. Is the author of. Ibig sabihin, pwede. And then, lagyan natin ng alias. Okay, so let's try this one. Dagdagan daw natin. So, ang i-concatenate natin yung course. So, doon sa first name, ibig sabihin, since may karugtong pa siya, lagyan mo siya sa inang concatenator symbol. Parallel. Ay mo pala, sorry. Single quotation. Yan. Lagay mo, hindi, wala pang comma. My course is, type mo. My course is, yan. Huwag mong galawin yan. Huwag mong galawin yan. Type mo, my course is, yan. And then, another space para hindi magkadikit. At saka lagyan mo ng single quote. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin yan, papasok yung string na my course is doon sa concatenation. Tapos, para maidugtong mo si course, para may concatenate mo si course, lagyan mo ng concatenator symbol. Yan. Tapos, idikit mo ngayon si course. Run. Ayun. At least, hindi na dikit-dikit. So, for example, Dalisay, Ricardo, my course is, ayan, tinawag mo yung content ng course na BSIT and so on. Okay? Syempre, hindi pwedeng ganyan ang pinapakita natin. Yung operation symbol natin. Lagyan natin ng alias. Doon sa dulo ng course, Yan, lagyan mo ng as, space, yan, space, details. Okay, then run. Details. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung mga niraran natin, it's not a permanent output. It's just for this query. Okay? Hindi yan stored. Okay? So yun yung ibig sabihin nito. You can concatenate more than one column, two column, three columns, and pwede mo nga i-concatenate lahat eh. Okay? And then you can put a string inside. Okay, next. So the lesson summary for this is, so you should have learned the following. Use the asterisk to call all rows and columns in the table. Display specific column by specifying the column list in the select list. Make use of arithmetic expression. And then rename a column heading. Make use of concatenation operator as well as character, literal, string. Okay, so that is the end of our topic for today.